Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel and I make lifestyle videos here on YouTube. One of the journeys that I share is my infertility and TTC journey, and so many of you all are on the same journey, so it's very important for me to be vulnerable, to be open, and to kind of share this journey for what it is. And yes, I've talked about it. It's hard to do. It's not always easy, but one of the hardest issues and probably one of the biggest topics in this journey that I personally deal with is just false pregnancy symptoms. And from our private TTC and infertility Facebook group, I have learned that I am not alone in that, and there are so many of you all out there that experience the same thing every month, and it's so hard because there's so much hope and there's so much disappointment. The 2-week wait is already hard enough as it is. I'm currently in the 2-week wait as well, and some of these things are already happening to me, so it's not something that you can just like be perfect at, but there are some ways that you can be better at it, or some months. So for me, I always feel like I have false pregnancy symptoms when my regular period symptoms are much stronger than normal. So my cycles are very regular, and a lot of times my symptoms are pretty regular. So one month my breasts were so sore, and they had not been sore with my period in months. Like I never like recognized it, and so all of a sudden I recognized it and I was like, oh gosh. Like if you start Googling and you see early pregnancy symptoms and signs, and so many people say like that's the one symptom that they had when they found out they were pregnant. And so for me, when I get that, I'm like, oh gosh. But I have learned from past experience that just because I have sore breasts does not mean I'm pregnant. And I mean, of course we're hopeful, but there is such a difference in being hopeful and like really getting your hopes up, because you know if you've been through this, the difference. If you've convinced yourself that you are pregnant, that your symptoms and signs are like so aligned with it, then you start imagining your life with that child, imagining your life being pregnant, and then just going down that rabbit hole of Pinterest and everything, of just the fun stuff of being a mom, or what seems like would be fun of being pregnant and all that kind of stuff. And so when you convince yourself and you get down that path, it's so disappointing and so hard. And I will be 100% honest with you right now. I have my hopes up, and the reason why I have my hopes up is because I had an HSG test, and so many people said that they got pregnant after that, after trying for years and just had unexplained infertility. So that. 2, one sign that I had that has been different than like typical periods, and it's come very early, like usually I don't get like strong symptoms until the last week of the 2 weeks. This came like within the first week, which I don't know if that is accurate for pregnancy symptoms or not, but something that was a little bit different is the need for like frequent urination, or this like feeling of like I need to pee. It's so weird, like my bladder wants to, and at first I thought, well, maybe I have a UTI. This is probably TMI. A UTI. I've never had a UTI, so I don't know what that feels like, and I thought, oh crap, I'm getting a UTI. Well, it's went away, and I know people that have had a UTI, and it's persistent and it's painful and it just keeps going. Well, I also had tiny bit of blood spotting. I mean, it was like the faintest pink, and I thought, oh gosh, that could be a UTI. And then I thought, well, all that went away. I'm like, what am I feeling? Like, what is this? And then I, of course, started Googling signs and symptoms of pregnancy, and of course you can find the exact signs you're looking for every time. And so this act of like actively seeking signs and symptoms and looking for stuff and wishing and hoping and getting your hopes up, it's so hard on you mentally that most months I'm pretty level-headed and I just don't get my hopes up because I'm so used to it being negative. And I think like once you have that change or something is different, of course you're hopeful. It's just like if I were to go on fertility drugs, I would be so hopeful. It's the same thing for me right now as if having the HSG. So anyways, so I think it's so important to kind of distract yourself with things, especially during the 2-week wait, especially if you're feeling like you're getting hopeful. And I'm not always the best at it, but I've definitely learned ways to kind of I'll be honest, most months I'm not very like super duper hopeful. Like if I were to be, I would be very shocked just because you get used to it after so long. But months like now, I try to distract myself and just have a project to work on, or like stay busy with work stuff. Like it's really just about distracting yourself and praying. And I like to pray really hard, especially in these moments, because I feel like after, like if you're super hopeful and then you are disappointed, I feel like it's easy to just also be disappointed in God. And I know that that sounds terrible, but I think it does try your faith. It does try, you know, all the praying and all the pleading for this gift and this miracle to come. That yes, sometimes I get disappointed. I'm like, why? Like I was so hopeful. I felt like this was my time, and it wasn't. And I feel like if you start to get hopeful, kind of praying about it helps if you're disappointed in the end, because then you feel, I don't know, for me, I just feel better about it because I feel like I've been praying a lot, and I've just been, you know, praying that I will have peace whatever happens, and that his timing is right, and I know that it'll happen, but not to get my hopes up. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like in some sort of way that helps. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is just having a project and distracting myself, and it honestly doesn't take it completely away, but it does help. And reading books or just things to take your mind off of it. And I want to make a video about like different ways that I distract myself during the 2-week wait. So if you would be interested in that type of video, be sure to comment down below and let me know, like, if that's something you would be interested in. If you're looking for ideas, I know a lot of people talk about that and try to find different things that they can do. So just let me know and I will try to make that video for you all. I'll also probably be making another video soon on our update from, I did get a call from my doctor, and so I will update you all on what our next steps are. Yeah, so those are some videos coming up. If you are new here and you are going through TTC or infertility, be sure to check out my playlist. I have tons of videos on it, so many topics and things that are probably things that you are going through that you can relate on. So be sure to check that out. And also, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join our private Facebook group if you haven't already. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.